Hi, my name is Linus Bjutsberg and I'm a fencer in Saber hema. It's a hema club here in Sweden, and we are situated south of Sweden, together with a couple other clubs. And mostly what we do, we post sparring videos. We do a lot of sparring and we like to make videos with us sparring, so we post sparring videos. Haven't really tried a proper review. We did a bit of review on the Weapon Master gauntlet when it came out. This guy, really good gauntlet if you don't have it, but a little bit more messy, like on the spot type of a review. So what I want to do today is I want to do a review of the lineup, or in general the Steel Generation sabers made by Black Fencer. I bought my first one I think in 2019, so it's been like 4 years now, early 2019 I think. We do have quite a few of them in the club at this time. And so I wanted to give a review. I don't have a standard one here. I sold that to a guy in the club. But I do have a couple of non-standard ones, very similar but custom. The paint job here is my own. It's just an attempt. Never mind that, okay. It turned out pretty crud. I'll remove it and try again. So, but the general shape is there. So it's very similar to a cavalry, a 1796 cavalry sword, cavalry saber. But this is like more like supposed to be like a non-regulation infantry saber of that era. So a little bit lighter. The standard one, if we talk about the specs there, would come out at I think around 730 grams, which is pretty typical for a saber of that era. And then with a little bit less of a sagitta, like the curve, but still a very curved saber. This was the fashion of the day with the curved sabers. Balance point 13.5 centimeters on the standard one. A little bit more forward on this side. This is a little bit more weighty in the front. Blade length 80 centimeters blade length, and then the total length is 93, also pretty standard for the era. The tip is spatulated to 3 millimeters for safe thrusting. Then the edge is 2 millimeters. We haven't really had the trouble with that. The flex is really good. I'm not going to show on this because it has slightly less. It's a custom. This one is more like the flex on the standard sabers. You see there's a good amount of flex, and it returns really well to standard, to the center here. So we have some people, they say, oh yeah, they've flexed a little bit too much, but I'll get to that later. But for the thrusting, it makes them really safe for thrusting. At least that's our experience during the years we've been using them. Price for a standard one, completely standard one without the back strap. So this part would run you at 223 euros at this time. And then with the backstrap, which I do recommend, it feels more solid. I mean, I just like the grip more with the backstrap. Also, it puts more weight on the back of the saber, and with the backstrap it will run you at 231 euros. Now this is a custom, had a bone grip, which I managed to break because yeah, sometimes I break stuff. So I remade my own from moose antler, but that's all very non-standard. And then the paint job is mine, so don't blame Black Fencer for that. Overall, we're super happy with this, guys. This handle, I asked them to make it slightly smaller than the standard, but still, I mean, I can fit my Weapon Master gauntlet in here no problem, and swapping grips and everything it's possible with this. And as I said, this is slightly smaller, so this one is more like the even though I had them make I don't know if you can see it here, like it's from a Danish officer saber of that area with this extra for the handguard. But this is slightly larger, the grip, you see, and this is more like the standard one. And you know, you can fit almost any glove. Marcus in the club, he's using the lobster gloves sometimes in this, I know, and no problem, he can grip with the lobster gloves as well. And I used the Pro Gauntlet before I sold my Pro Gauntlet in here as well, no problem. I can fit in this grip. So very happy with that. So why do we use these guys? Why do we like them? Well, mostly because I mean, well, part of it is actually looks. Like you know, we are a little bit of fancy guys, so we like our uniforms. You know, we like it with the braiding, and I just like the wider profile. And the other people in the club also, they like the wider profile. Like here is more looking like a historical saber with the wider profile than the thinner. Of course, it doesn't matter at all, but for us it matters a bit, the looks. So I really like the looks. That's one point that we like about these ones. Then the other part is the flex. So you know, it's very safe for thrusting. Never had a problem. Like, and we do pretty, I mean, we do quite a bit of intention in our sparring, and there has never been any problem with a thrust with this. We've held up really well. The other thing is durability. I mean, as I said, the first one I bought, I sold to another person in the club, and that one is still around. So 4 years of pretty heavy sparring use, and it's still around. What it does do, and that's the only thing I like, that I would say I like less, is, and it might not be unavoidable either over time with a saber with this type of profile, but they can take a little bit of a set, like maybe get a little bit of an S shape or something. Not much, tiny bit, but I know that one has it after all those years. Maybe this one also, now that I see it, maybe this one took a little bit of a set, but all very minor. And then some people, they say, oh yeah, because they flex, so like they have quite a bit of flex, they're worried that when they're sparring that it's going to become an artifact, like they're going to wobble and everything. But quite honestly, when you do saber sparring, maybe it's just us that are not, you know, but we don't feel it. Like there's no difference to using another saber as far as that part goes. Like it doesn't wobble so much that you're really going to notice it while sparring. So that's a no point, but there is that, and there is that slight that it could take a set. Also the edge, it does burr a bit. So you're going to have to take care of the edge a bit. You can get some pretty sharp burrs sometimes, especially in the beginning when the saber is fresh. Then after a while, when it gets that, you know, when you used it for a couple of years and the edge gets all those tiny indentation, then it burrs less and less, actually found. Again, you take care, check it before you spar, and get rid of the sharpest burrs there, and it's actually really safe for that as well. So in conclusion, why are we making this review? Is because I think Black Fencer, they're not getting enough cred for these sabers. So if you're into like British military swordsmanship, or just would like to try a little bit more curved saber, I can really recommend these. We've had a great time using them. They've been a great tool for us, and I think you folks should just give it a go. Try it. Next time you buy a saber, maybe take a look at Black Fencer sabers. That's about it.